If your ink's too slow and your nib won't flow, here's one of the places that you can go. Larry is here to see you through with Mr. Announcer and Cubby too. It's Larry's Fountain Pen Reviews.
But so, you know, this is my thing. Mike and I have been talking religiously, and I want to help him all I can to do what I can for him, to get him out there, to get him known. The man has a lot of talent. Okay, let me explain a little bit how I break down my pens. There's a lot of people that, I want to be honest with you, they don't like these kind of pens. They don't even look at them. They have certain pens that they're into, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm into all kinds of pens. Now, you know, let's say a rollerball like this. This is a fun pen. And pens, you know, these are fun pens to me, except for this Tiger Eye. I'm telling you, Tony, this one will kick your face in.
Wow.
This is a monster. So I have, you know, pens I call my play pens. No biggies, you know, just play pens. I have fun. I really like just to have fun. They're fun pens, right? And then I go up a little more, and you know, you said it before, and then we have our high-end pens, which we really love, and they have all the bells and whistles, right? And like you said many times before, you know, we can write with any of these pens, and no one's going to know what pen we wrote with, not at all. But we will know what pens we wrote with, and we get the enjoyment out of it. So my high-end pens, my mid-rate pens, my low-rate pens, my fun pens, to me, they bring enjoyment to me. You know, I don't have to have an $800 pen, you know, which I do have sometimes, God bless. And you know, it can be a 99-cent pen. And now let me show you something real quick, and which I'm really proud of. Now, Kara Overman, a friend of mine, and she's my sweetie. That's Frank's wife. He doesn't know she's my secret sweetie. So anyway, she gets me these for Christmas usually. I love them. They're the color fountain pens. They're $5 for 8. They write beautiful. The color of ink is beautiful, and they're just a blast to use. So, you know, these kind of pens, if on any kind of pen that you don't pay arm and a leg for, if you lose them or break them, it's not an arm and a leg. You don't lose your arms or legs or eyeballs, and you can recover for them. So I like these kind of pens, okay? So that's where I'm at. Now, you're going to have people, and I'm going to throw it out there because I can, and I'm going to, and I'm pretty blunt at times, that, you know, when they see pens like this, there are some people, and correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, that will just dog it. Oh, I don't like that pen, this and that and that, you know. Well, you know, those are people's opinions that can be a little harsh at times. But I'm telling you the God's truth on these pens. And I'm not going to mislead anybody. I'm not here to mislead anybody. I'm going to tell you my honest opinion when I review a pen to the best of my ability. Because I don't want you to say, well, Larry said this is a good pen and it's not very good. These pens are absolutely awesome. I'm going to have to stand with Mike. I'm going to have to back up Mike and say, Mike, I support you, Mike. You're doing an amazing job. Keep up the good work, Mike. In 7 months, Mike, pat yourself on the back. 7 months, you created some beautiful pens. Now you're going into 8 months. Mike, you're going to be big one day. I mean, really. And you know, Mike's heart is like all of us here in this room. He has a love for fountain pens. He has the passion. He has that. He's enthusiastic about making beautiful pens. That's his thing. And that's what it takes, a real pen maker, not to get a big head, but to make beauty that's going to benefit others, and that's going to write as nice as it looks. Because, you know, like I've always said, if the nib's no good, I don't care what you pay for a pen, the pen's no good. Tony, you and I have been there. We're disappointed. So,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, that's right. So, you know, you're not going to go wrong with 30% off. There's no way. No way at all. None. And you're going to get your money's worth. And then when that ends, you're still going to get a 15% off. You're still not going to go wrong. So later on, I'm going to have to hash it out with Mr. Mike. In love, Mike. More clips.
Yes. I will do more clips. I will do more clips.
Well, Larry, thank you for that, because I agree with you. You know that we agree a lot about a lot of stuff. I really, to me, the clips, I since I never carry my pens out, rarely take my pens out in the wild, so I don't have to put them in my pocket. So I have a handful of clipless pens that I'm okay with. So I'm not opposed to a clipless pen. I got a question for Mike, and then we'll give. And by the way, on my top 3 pens that Larry was kind enough to do with me, I don't know if any of you saw that. I made mention about those people like Mike that are making the small, the individual makers, not the big manufacturer of pens, that I wanted to honor those guys. And, speaking on my behalf, people like you, Mike, that make pens and put your own personality to it, and put your care and love into that. It means a lot to people that use fountain pens, whether we've bought your pens or not. It is important that there are people like you making pens, because it's just important that it's just a change from the cookie cutter. Not, hey, I've got my fill of many of the big brands, the Pilots, the Platinums. They're all manufactured, not hand turned. But to have something special, I'll tell you right here, just to give you an example. As an ebonite pen, speaking of this, Mike, one of my pen pals, Lisa Saavedra, whose husband G happened to turn this pen. It's made out of ebonite, and it smells. I know exactly what you're saying, but you are right about the feel. You're right about the feel of the ebonite, and that's the only ebonite pen I have. They just happen to make it for me as a gift, and yeah, that it's definitely has that smell. I can only imagine when you're turning it, that smells like maybe you've got your hot rod and did donuts out in your parking lot and spun out your wheels. That same sort of smell, isn't it?
Yes, that's what it smells like.
Okay, real quick. I went to Jim Hines' house and I wanted the pen, so I did the diagram and how I wanted it. A black pen, like the one you showed me, Mike. This is ebonite. I don't have any problems with the smell. That's me.
No,
it goes away. It dissipates after a little bit. It doesn't. It's not. It doesn't smell after it's been made usually, unless you got it warm or something. You're not going to notice it ever.
And this pen is really a nice job. Hines did an A1 kick on this pen, and that's what I expect from Jim Hines.
Yes.
He's been doing it so long. I expect nothing from the best from Jim. He will deliver. And I love the pen. I love it black. I love the clip. There's nothing that I don't like about it. Great fountain pen. So I got this from Jim. And I named this the Paladin. Why? If y'all keep up with Paladin, all black, right? Paladin pen, baby. Yeah, beautiful pen. So when y'all saw your black pen, Mike, I'm going to have to come up with a name.
Okay.
I don't know, John Wayne.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, a question for you. Have you ever done, or you may have, and I missed it, faceted pens at all? Have you ever attempted anything like that? Or is that something on a whole different level?
That's on my list. I have not done a faceted pen yet. No, that's on there. This whole area. I mean, I have not poured my own blanks yet. There's been a couple times I've considered it when I was looking at different ideas I had, but I said, well, I'm going to have to, this.
Oh yeah, bad smells before.
Yeah, but that'll be fun too. And Yeah, we won't. I'll try not. My wife said no already on that, but I think I can still sneak it in. She won't notice a pressure pot sitting in my office.
I want to.
You know, there's so many different ways you can go. I mean, and again, like Larry, what you were saying, there's so many different tastes and so many different ideas. You know, and there's a lot of fun territory to explore here. You know, and a faceted pen is definitely, I would be interested. I see also people make things in different shapes. Of course, now I'm kind of being, I don't know what you want to call it. You were talking about automated assembly line kind of stuff. I'm using a lathe. Some people hand carve their pen from they take a piece of material and just go at it with a knife or something, you know, and wow, I mean, that's crazy, you know. You know, so there's a lot of places you could go with things like this. The metal work, like I mentioned a little bit ago, I don't do, you know, I've looked at ideas. I haven't really found a clip I really like that I bought. You know, I bought a couple and I'm going to try. I will use some made clips right now, but I think ultimately to get what I want, I'm probably going to end up having to make my own clips too. So there's another whole nother rabbit hole, you know, or find someone to fabricate them for me.
But,
you know?
but Mike, let's go back to Mike, to Heinz again.
Oh yeah.
Heinz has been doing this for a while, and he's paid the piper his due for a long time, working, doing his job and working and really learning as he went on how to do this, and this didn't work, so he tried this to where he has now. So now he's up there, pretty sharp guy. So
definitely, I met him at the Chicago Pen Show and
so remember,
in
Mike,
person. So he's quite a guy.
Remember, Mike, we all have to start somewhere, and you've already started that, and you've taken off like a jet. I'm not just saying it to give you a big head. I'm totally impressed. I am. I wasn't expecting this kind of pens from you, you know. Okay, now Tony, real quick, because you might have not heard.
Okay,
these pens. Now I'm not sure about the Tiger Eye or acrylic. Is that right? Is the Tiger Eye acrylic?
That's a Lumelite. Yes, it's a Lumelite material. Right.
Okay, and they're nice. But Tony, just look at this Tiger Eye. Tony, it is. No, it may not be a Visconti. No, it may not be.
No, I don't care about that.
No. Let me finish. No. I'm not even going that, dude. I'm just saying it's its own individual personality. That's what it is. You see what I'm saying now? Yeah. So it's a great pen, and I like it just as much as I like the big name pen. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, I'm not cutting down any of this stuff. I'm just trying to put, in my words, the best I can.
You didn't let me finish, Larry. I just was asking about the size. You know me. Look at this. This is the size of a bear claw. I need to have. You know, how is the girth? What's the millimeter on that, Mike? On the diameter.
The one that Larry has right there, because I was using a clip, again, an off-the-shelf clip that was at a particular size, to get it to fit that pen, I had to drop down to a 13 millimeter thread. Yeah. Okay.
I like 15, 16.
However, you know, like this last batch I made, like this one here, I mean, this batch of 7, which you may not have seen. I've got a bunch of them here. Maybe this blue one's going to be a little easier to see, but this is a 15 millimeter pen. Okay, so, and again, like you, my hands are, you know, well, I don't know, they fit me, but they're pretty good size hands. And for me, a 15 millimeter girth is very pleasant. Okay, right. Again, you know, we're down into very, very personal decisions. You know, some people would find even Larry's pen, the 13 millimeter one, it's only 2 millimeters smaller. Some people would say, no, I really want a 12. You know, I mean, again, or I want you to shave that section down. I tend to like my sections relatively straight, you know, and some people want them really curved. They want them to really go down to a very small area, a narrow diameter. And, you know, that's, again, that fits your fingers, that works for you, right? But I tend to like these larger ones. I just started making with these ebonite pens, and now with this last batch, this last gang of 7, the Magnificent 7, if you will, they're all 15 millimeter pens. These all have, these particular ones, these have Yovo nibs, number 6s, you know, but you know, nothing really crazy wild, they're steel. This one you can see is gold plated. I find them very pleasant. I know, Larry, you had the pens you were writing with were all Jowo number 6s, and they write really well. They're not
Really well.
Yeah,
they're not
yeah, they do.
they're not a 21K sailor or whatever,
Right, right.
you know what I mean? And I do appreciate those nibs too. I mean, there's nothing, I appreciate all the nibs. So again, as you were saying, I don't want to, one way or the other. Here's like I mentioned before, this was my my number 8 and 18K gold. Very nice, very nice. And actually, incidentally, I don't know if you heard that, but I when I assembled it, I broke it immediately. I immediately dropped the pen. As soon as I put this together like this, like in 10 seconds, it was broken,
Oh no.
So I sent it off and it got repaired. So this one's actually, not only is it an 18K number 8, but it's been tuned as well. So,
Wow.
as a result of being repaired. So this.
How much more for those gold nibs?
This is a box, so it's just whatever they charge. They're in that like 250 range. Okay, so now again, this is pre Larry's 30%, by the way. Okay, now let's the gold nibs. That's I kind of just put those on at cost, so that's kind of off the table. But a normal pen like one of these others here, like this one here, this is one of that gang of 7 again, one of the new ones. This is a 15 millimeter thread, with a relatively straight section. It's got a gold number 6, a gold plated number 6 steel nib, Jowo nib, and I can thread on whatever size you like. Anything that Jowo makes, I can put on, or Bach. Usually I make the pen for one or the other, and then that's going to be what it is. If you're getting a custom pen, of course, I can make it to whatever you want. And if you can't make up your mind, I can give you 3 sections, one for each of the styles of nibs. But a pen like this is about a $150 pen. Okay. And with 30%, that's going to be less. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But you take that gold nib and add it on, that's about another 250. So that makes this somewhere around a $400 pen.
Right.
Okay. And I'm not adding anything with the nib. I'm just giving you what it cost me to buy a Bach number 8, And of course you could do that yourself. You can just go buy a number. You can buy gold nibs for these. They make gold nibs in these sizes too. So you can.
So yeah, and Mike also let everyone know that your nibs are screw-on nibs.
Right.
Right. These are standard. I mean, this is nothing. Again, this is not a unique Mike thing. The section is just threads on. It's got. And again, this is when I literally put this together just as the show as our call was starting. So it comes with a section. Of course, the section pops off, and the nib just threads out. Let's see, I can do this. You can see it maybe, and it just threads right out. Now, before I started making pens, I would never do this. Absolutely not. I would not take my Pilot custom Urushi and rip the nib out of it. Okay. Absolutely not. Okay. But now that I've been making pens, and I'm a little more daring, but and people buying these, you don't have to do this either. I will thread in, whatever size nib that you want, medium, extra fine, whatever you can. Here, and then of course I've kind of cheated. I met Kirk Spear of Pen Realm. I've dropped his name a couple times now. I happened to just run into him at the Chicago Pen Show. That was my very first pen show. So again, I had signed up for that show when I was a fan, and kind of showed up, and a friend of mine let me use part of his booth. So I actually sold pens at the Chicago Pen Show. So I'm a vendor now, I guess, right? But I ran into Kirk and had him tune a couple nibs. I'd never had a custom grind before. So that was let's see, I'm trying to remember. It was a cursive italic and a architect. So I got a couple custom grinds from him, and also again, I also had him make these. This is a pretty cool little case he ships these in, by the way. This is one of his deals. This is a nib, and this one is a needlepoint. I bought about half dozen little special nibs to play with, and again, I put them out. They're on my on my Instagram. So but I don't sell nibs per se, but I was just wanted to experiment with a few. So you can thread one of these guys on. You can see it's the same, you know, it would thread right in, okay? And so it's very easy to get nibs of, like he'll grind all these different nibs, and you can of course send a pen in and get it ground, or meet somebody at a show. Getting it done at a show is of course probably the best thing, because they can look at how you write and see the angle you write at. And if you're like the architect grind that I got, it's basically like a little knife edge right here where it's really wide when you go back and forth and very narrow, just the opposite of a stub, if you will. And the trick is, of course, if your handwriting is as stupidly bad as mine, I can't hardly even keep from rotating nibs, let alone keep them flat and straight and all that kind of stuff. But he could observe how I held the pen and then grind the angle of the nib to exactly what I want, so that when I put my hand down the way I stupidly do, the nib would actually land right, instead of me having to go, okay, now where is that flat spot, you know? So, you know, that's a whole nother rabbit hole, and I'm not into, I'm just starting to play with nibs as well. But that's you know, there's so many different ways you can have fun with these pens. And I think
You know
that's
who
the
also
biggest
does
thing.
that? Who also does that is Dan at the Nibsmith.
Right.
You know, he asked me to send him a photo of me holding the pen of the way I write it.
Yep.
And then he'll adjust the nib to that. Yeah.
Right.
Mark Backus has done all mine, other than when I went at a pen show, and Richard Bender did some grinding for me on some of my pens. But Mark Backus, what he'll do when I've sent off my stuff, like you, Liz, I had a picture showing me holding the pen so he could see the angle. And then before he sent it back to me, he did an actual YouTube video and sent me the video showing me writing and making sure that I like the way it writes. And so if I want to change anything before he sends it back. So some of these Nibsmeisters like Kirk and Mark and Nibsmith, Dan, they're a dying breed. I mean, there's not as many of them coming up. So it's really nice.
Now, Mike, I have a question. On these ballpoints, I bought the paw print one, and I know that you say that they're a kit pen, but what, like the barrel or the body of the pen, what work goes into you making this kit pen?
Well, let's see. Let me just pick one up here, and I'll walk through it here. A kit pen. This is one of those fidget pens again. What it works out to be is this area here. It depends on the pen, of course. This one here has one piece like yours, and what you do is you cut this material down to this size, and you put a brass tube in it, and turn it down to the right size, and then you press fit the pieces together. It varies quite a bit. I mean, kit pens are, you know, just as different as anything else. And so, but all the metal pieces are all pre-made, you know, as a kit. And to a large degree, I mean, again, you can get into arguments about, you know, how much you can get very nice fountain pen kit pens. I mean, like some made out of silver, you know, that are very finely made, right? And people will put tremendous amounts of work into the material that they're making. They'll make their own material for the kit pen too. So again, there's so many different ways you could go at this, right?
So you're still turning the body of the
right. This piece here is basically taken from a chunk of material.
Just like with the fountain pen.
Just like with this, like here, like I'll just grab this one here. This cap started out as a piece of material. I cut it off to this length. I turned it into this shape. I did make it, hollow and put threading and stuff like that on it, which is a little bit more, but that's basically what's going on here too. Okay. You're basically taking that material and building this piece of the pen, right?
Okay.
And it's like you're saying, like the little dog pens or like this, I don't know, it's just fun. It's just a fun.
Yeah, they are a lot of fun.
And there's different tastes. Like here's now this is more like what you would call a normal, like a click pen, right? Ball, like a regular, ballpoint kind of pen, right? Mm-hmm. Right. And this one, I made this particular, this style, I made a slightly different color, but I mean, it has two pieces that go into it. And this one particular one is a gel, okay, but it's the same kind of thing, right? It's just a click pen, right? I made one of these for my mother because when I showed her this, she said, well, yeah, that's nice, but that's a fountain pen, you know. I don't use fountain pens, she said. In fact, she even said, I didn't even know people made fountain pens like what I'm doing right now. She says, I didn't know people even did that, you know. So it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit, but no. But she loves this ballpoint, this gel pen, this kind of a pen. Awesome. She wanted this. I made her one of these with the color she wanted. She also gets the, you know, you're talking about different discounts. She also has the infinite refill family plan. You know, she gets refills for free for life, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Anyway.
Moms deserve that.
That's what moms get. Yeah.
Larry, you're muted.
Larry,
You're muted.
Larry,
Okay, Frank, go ahead. You wanted to ask a question?
Well, I was just pointing out the fact that it was 7:45, almost 7:50 here, so I don't know how long you're going to run.
The other Frank, Tony, I'm sorry, Tony, you want to ask?
I wanted just to say something about kit pens. My relationship to kit pens, when I would go to the festivals that we'd have here, you know, we call it the Santa Caligon. It would be a big festival in Independence, Missouri. And I would go through the tents and there would be a guy that had kit pens. And there would be some fountain pens, and I'd always curious because I love, you know, I was wanting to acquire fountain pens, and I looked at them. The only thing I did not like about the kit fountain pens, the only thing I did not like is the fact that it seemed like the barrel was beautiful, the finial was really nice, and then all of a sudden at the bottom they had this really tiny, narrow section, like, you know, like really tiny. That was the only thing I did not like about the kit fountain pens. Is that you know, it seemed like it would be a really lovely, and all of a sudden it got to that the part where you're holding it, the section would be so small.
Well, the one I have, Tony, isn't that way at all. I mean, maybe the one Mike's shown that he made for his mom, but
okay.
Yeah, the one I have isn't. I don't know what the diameter is for it, Mike. You might want to let
Wow, that is different. Now that is totally different than the ones I've seen.
That's a roller ball, right? That's the one that you got.
Yeah,
from me,
yeah.
right?
Oh, I'm talking about fountain pen.
Here, I just dug up. Here's one of my very early kit pens that I did, and this is a fountain pen.
Oh, cool!
And you can see, you know, it's got like a hexagonal shape.
That's cool, though. I like that.
You know, and the other thing that's cool about this one is it's magnetic. You know, so it closes magnetically and it posts magnetically for those of you who like posting. And it has a clip. It has a clip.
Keep that in thought. Yeah.
Has a clip, Larry has a clip.
It has a clip.
Yeah.
No. But I mean, and again, to your point though, you know, people will make sections differently than others. I tend to like longer sections. Probably it's like if you compare this kit pen here to mine, my section is a bit bigger. Of course, it's girthier because this is a 15 millimeter. Right. But you know, it's all a matter of what fits your hand, you know, and your tastes.
I like the size of the sections that you make. It's really comfortable.
Yeah, it looks nice.
It has some practical things, you know. It brings the threads are further back then, so you don't feel the threads when you're holding a pen.
Okay, you know, real quick on that, because you'll have people comment on that, but I can use them either way. But I really like when the barrel just goes right into the grip section. I like that kind of fit myself. Yeah. But that's now real quick. We're running out of time.
Okay.
Now, to everybody on here. Some people need bigger pens like Mike. So, Mike, if you were to want a pen from, I'm sorry, Tony, if you want a pen from Mike, you would ask Mike, I need a pen this long, so he can accommodate your needs. And that goes with anybody, a longer pen, a pocket pen, whatever it is, you know, Mike can do that for you. He just needs to know what you want and how you want it. Okay.
Right.
How many on here right now like clips on their pens?
Yeah, I like clips, but
I like
Okay.
them.
Now,
I mean,
how
it's
many
not a
on
deal
here?
breaker though. It's not a
Good.
deal breaker.
Richard, all right, my man. How many on here like that little door stopper thing, whatever it is?
I like the little door stop in case
Well,
I
it
have to
stands
stop a
alone.
door, Larry. What are you thinking? You know,
And how
Yeah,
many on here like pens with nothing, no clip?
hey, Larry, if it's a fountain pen, we love it. It doesn't matter.
Know it, but we all have different opinions. It
Right.
doesn't.
Right.
Oh, there. So I'm not sending you one just for that. How you like that?
Hey,
Well, I don't wear a shirt. I don't have pockets on my shirt, so I don't.
But
my
anyway,
clips
before
doesn't-
we
don't
go,
matter to me.
good
before
point.
we go,
Good point, Liz.
we're gonna have another Zoom in with Mike when once the 30% gets going, so we can talk a little bit more about it. And I'm telling you what, these two pens were very difficult for me to give away. Personally, I didn't want to give them away because
You're giving your pens away?
these are these are giveaways.
Oh,
Well, now wait a minute.
I would
Wait
never
a
do
minute.
that.
The first one, the first wave, 30% off. And then we're going to do a 15% off. But somewhere along the line, I'm doing a giveaway, right, Mike?
That's right.
Right.
And
That's
I know I suggested the clip pen be the first giveaway, but you said no.
Oh,
Huh, you can forget that. That ain't going nowhere. You can get mad at me, whatever. I quit. There.
Well, I'm just kidding with you.
I fell in love with that pen, and it's not too often that I fall in love with it because I wasn't expecting that kind of pen. So, okay, now let's start breaking this down. So, Mike, when people see this, they want to start going to your site so they can look at the stock that you have available so they can start using that 30% off. So I had Frank Overman, my good buddy, my room manager that takes care of all that stuff. And Frank, what did you put down there so they can go to? You want to critique that real quick, Frank Overman?
Let me put it back up there and share it again. Share screen. Share.
And leave it on for a while.
So you can do it from mikespenfun.com or it'll come up as
We need to see the website. Can't see
right
it.
there.
That's the website.
mikespenfun.com.
I don't see it.
It's
Where
in
is
the
it at?
title bar.
it's at the very top, Larry.
Now,
Or is it in the picture or is it in the chat?
is it in
Yeah.
the chat? Because it's not in the
Well,
picture.
I put
It's
it
in
in
the
the chat, but it's in the picture now. I'm sharing the, it's got a picture of one of
see it
Mike's
there?
pens on it on a wooden block.
Okay, we're not seeing it in the picture.
I see it. I see it's beautiful.
I
Move your,
see.
move your cursor to where it is.
I
Okay,
did.
Leave
I
that on.
can,
Leave it on for a while. Frank, leave that on.
I'll put it back up again. We'll see if you see it this time.
There it is.
Where?
Frank, I see it.
Upper left.
Up here. Up here. Okay. So, okay, people, for those that are looking, it's right up here. The site that you can go see Mike Green's pens. Right up in here. Right there.
mikespenfun.com.
Yeah. Now, Frank, you want to put the other one in?
The
When
Instagram?
you go to it, it goes to Mike. I guess it's what is it? mighke.com/pens. But
That's
if-
that's the internal site name, but it's
That's the internal site name.
mikespenfun.com. Yeah, is the basic pen is the there you go, right there. You got
Right
it,
there.
yeah,
All right.
mikespenfun.com.
And
Okay,
the
now-
other,
now-
the other alternative would be to go to my Instagram account. Is that what you're
Okay,
thinking?
we're going to get to that right now. So,
Okay.
Mike, all right.
Yeah.
Now, on your Instagram account, what do they have on there? And how do they find you on Instagram?
I don't know if Frank, if you're going to bring it up, or I can bring it up too.
I can bring it up. I just need to tell you, need you to tell me what it is again.
That's M-I, get to Instagram here when you're ready.
Yeah.
Okay. You look for MIGHKE 42.
Okay, Mike, and I'll bring
There
that
you
over
go.
to this screen.
There you go.
And my
That's my
GHKE 42.
that's my Instagram account, and you can see I have a bunch of posts. You know, they'll look very familiar if you looked at the website. They are the pens and various other things that have been happening. They also have things like if you go to like the one right there with the clip right there in the top middle there, if you click on that one, I think you can go to that post, right?
Yes.
And then you can scroll over. If you click on the little arrow, you can get more. You'll get like if you look at the picture on the right edge of the picture,
yes,
this
yes,
little
yes.
arrow, you can scroll to the next image and it'll do things like there's a little movie of what the pen looks like. See, the videos really help a lot. I know it's not playing very well through the Zoom call, but if you go to it on Instagram, then you can see I zoomed in on the material and turned it in, and you can kind of get a feel
Okay,
for
so
the depth of the material.
you go to Instagram and check out Mike Green's stock. They'll be there. Are they going to have the prices on there, Mike?
I don't generally put the prices on there, but in general, the fountain pens, the custom, the kitless fountain pens are generally around $150. The ebonite ones are $175, but in general, they're in that. I mean, if you're interested in a particular pen, just do a direct message or hit the contact on the website, whichever way you're doing it.
Now the other two
we can talk about prices.
For what? What are they for?
I'm sorry?
The other two websites we have listed on there, they're for what exactly?
Which websites are those?
The ones we just put on here with the
the other one, Mike's Pen Fun is my main, that's my website. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's
what are they going to find there when they go to
there
that?
you see that gallery that you're looking at right there.
Okay.
That's what it looks like. And if there's a bunch of images along the bottom, and you can just scroll through the pens and see the pens.
Okay, stop right there. So if they see something they want, they contact you.
Right. There's a contact link down at the bottom.
All right.
You can just click on the contact. There you go. And that will bring up, it's going to shoot you over to your email to send you a message.
All right. So now you're going to be just doing it for the US because we talked about this once. Shipping outside the US could be expensive. If they wanted the pen, they would have to pay for the shipping themselves, correct?
Right. And again, I'm new to this. I've been doing a lot of, I generally just use the priority US mail, and that's been working pretty good in the US. I'm new to this. So people that are outside the US, just be patient with me. I'll work with you and we'll try to make it work for you. But I just have I've never shipped anything to, Czechoslovakia. So it would be a new experience for me.
All right.
One last question before we pop off. Titanium nibs, Mike, did you have access to any of those?
Yes, if you look earlier on, there was a black and red ebonite pen that I happened to put the number 8 titanium nib on. And that was my little group of experiments.
Yep.
That one's gone.
Oh, okay. Well,
all right. I can get more nibs, obviously. If you want a particular pen, like all the ebonite ones I made I made sections to do both number 6 and number 8, just as an experiment to play with these nibs. But and the rest of these pens are all made for number 6s, and it'll say right on there, like this particular one, the one you're looking at right now. If you look at the fine print, it says that has a Yovo number 6. Okay. And I don't tell you which one because I can put whatever Yovo number 6 you want on there. I can thread in a fine or extra fine or broad or whatever. So when you buy a pen, I will put whatever size nib on that you want, of course. But it'll be a Yovo. And for this particular pen, of course, this is Larry's. So I guess you're not going to be able to get this one. That's why I marked it sold. Okay. But otherwise, if you want something else, I can, of course, custom make if down the road,
Yeah.
if you say, oh, I want a number 8 titanium medium, I can of course order a titanium medium. It takes about a week to get a nib, something in that area. So I won't be, it'll take me, I'll have to wait for the nib to come in, and of course I'll have to make the
That
pen.
changes the cap though, doesn't it? If you put an 8 in one and a 6, the 8 wider when you go to
8?
cap it.
The 8 is wider. I make the caps, if you look at them, I don't make the caps really tight because I don't know what you may want to do down the road. For example, God, what help, whatever help you, if you decide to put like a Fude nib in or something, I try to make the caps big enough that almost anything will fit. Now, if you're going to switch from a number 6 to a number 8, I have to make a different section because you can't just thread in a number 8, nor can you thread, so like if this particular one's a Yovo, you can't thread a Bach number 6 in because the threading is slightly different between them. The pen maker has, that's not unique to me. The pen maker has to make the section fit the nib that will fit into it. But also I tend to make the pens themselves, the barrels, I make them pretty big. Just about any converter will fit in there. And it will take 2 international cartridges. So for those of you who like cartridges, you could put 2 inside there and have a spare for when you empty the first one, you can switch to the second one. So that one there that is pictured is actually a little bit longer. I made that one even a little longer. That was just the way it was drawn. So I made that one a little bit longer than the other ones too. So
all right,
change
Mike,
the sizes.
we're running out of time.
Oh yeah,
We're
sorry.
running out of time. So let's go into the next phase before we run out. Talk about nibs, the size of nibs and the gold nibs, titanium nibs. Fill them in on that. That's really important.
Oh yeah. Well, again, I've always had I'm sure a lot of you, I have a love affair with nibs. I have a dream that someday I'm going to find a pen and I'm going to find the right nib, like, well, this number 8 gold, in Bach here. One of these days, or with a grind, I'm going to find one that makes my handwriting look good. All right. And so far that hasn't happened. I told Kirk that at the Chicago Pen Show, and he started laughing. I don't know why, but as well, he thought that was not going to work for me. But I'm still hoping that one of these nibs is going to do it. But anyway, yes, I make the, again, I use number 6s in general, just because that's a really popular size. I use Yovo and Bach nibs. These here, this last batch here, I'm doing in Yovo. You can get them in a variety of finishes. I think in the Yovo, I primarily just have the gold plated, but in the Bach, I have polished steel, rose gold, gold plated, bicolor, both steel and gold colors. And that's just the finishing on the nib. I can also have nib sizes from extra fine up through double broad. And I also have some stubs. I have some 1.1s and some 1.5s in the Yovo, I believe. And that's a more matter of what I have in stock at that moment. I have a fairly good selection right now, but I only bought those 2 Bach number 8 nibs just as an experiment with those pens. I don't stock those. I can get them. You can also get those only come in gold and titanium, I believe. On the number 6 side, you can also get 14 karat gold, 18 karat gold, titanium, whatever. You can get several different materials. I don't stock those because I'm just starting out. I do not have 50 different gold nibs. I just they get very expensive to buy.
So Mike, excuse me for another minute.
Sure, go ahead.
Didn't I see one of your nibs have a blue colored nib on it?
Oh,
you do have some different colors.
I can get different colors.
Okay.
The pen you were looking at, and I don't have it right in front of me. That was a let's see. That was a Serpent Azul that I bought from Mr. Hines.
Oh.
And it has a blue nib on it. Mr. Hines has gotten, as you kind of have said, he's another level out there. Okay. He's doing his own nib coloring, and that's something I haven't I did not dive down that rabbit hole yet. But I have ideas. I've taken the nib class. I've got ideas of being able to do a little bit more with nibs, but right now I would be afraid to touch a nib that someone cared about,
let's break it down.
But I did have the black one.
Jim
I
Hyde's
have a
been doing pins for a long time.
no.
So he's already pinned down all the
So like this black, I showed it to you a moment ago. This black ebonite pen has a black number 6 Bach. This is a lacquered nib. You can get Bach nibs in black, purple, red. There's several different colors. It's just a matter of if you want more information, by all means, let me know. And I can buy those pretty easily. I can also buy different feeds. All the number 6s come with plastic. These are the Yovo and Bach nibs by default. The number 8s come with ebonite feeds by default. So, which I can also get. I can go order, like anybody. I can order ebonite feeds custom made for all the various nibs as well. So again, if you have very specific tastes and very specific requirements, like any custom maker, I can pretty much do anything. It just takes me a little longer to go buy the pieces,
Sometimes on those colored nibs, the black nibs and those colored nibs, if they painted over the tip, the iridium tip, sometimes that can create a different kind of writing experience. They've covered up the actual metal.
Right. And there's, and again, I don't know, I haven't had a lot of experience with colored nibs. I have a couple of the dark, I had like this black one. I haven't really written much with it or played with it much, but I do have a Sailor, a Wicked Witch of the West that has a colored nib. And I haven't really felt the coating effect of the iridium. Okay. But another point to bring up with colored nibs, and Sailor puts it on their little boxes, if you use something other than a Sailor ink in this pen, your warranty is gone, because there is some, I've never experienced it, but I've heard that with some of the coated nibs that the wrong ink can chemically react with the coating. All right. Just like the wrong ink could react with the steel nib too, for that matter,
Okay.
So,
we're to wrap this up, so let me go ahead and give the last little bit here. Again, these are just some of the pens. We're having a 30% sale on Mike Green, what he has on stock, what you see, 30% off. And again, Mike, they can be able to go where to see those?
They can go to my website that we just showed, mikespenfun.com. They can go to my Instagram account and see the feed, and all the pens will be there. And like I said, I've been a bit lazy. This Magnificent 7, the ones I just finished today, they'll be on the website in a couple days, as well as these kit pens, the steampunk pens. None of those were on the website yet. There's about 15 new kit pens to come on as well. So all of those will be on Friday morning or something like that. And they'll all be on sale. So, okay.
And then after the sale runs out, on what day was it? Was it January?
December 2nd, 1 week.
Okay.
1 week, December 2nd, 1 week after Thanksgiving.
1 week in stock.
The 30% sale will be over, right?
And then we're going to go into a 15% sale use the code Larry49. Now, remember again this, some pens will have clips, some will not, some will post, some will not. What you see in that batch is what he has. So again, let me say again that, I'm totally impressed, and I'm not just saying it to make Mike look like a superstar, but Mike only been doing this for 7 months. Now it's 8. And, Liz was the one that caught this and told me. So that's how this all got to happen. I am totally impressed at your pens. You would think when you see this pen, this guy's been doing it for years. He's got an eye and a talent for making pens. And Liz, give your last comments about it.
My last comments. Well, all I have to say is that I was so impressed after receiving one. I ordered a second. I'll be ordering 2 more very soon for my my mom and dad. And also I contacted Larry about the pens just to review them on, you know, on his YouTube channel, because I personally thought they were so great.
And you know, they're well worth the money. They're affordable. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to just about fit anybody's pocketbook. People are tight with money right now with the way things are, so they're counting their pennies, and they're looking for a good deal. They're looking for good fountain pens, you know. So, bam, you're right in on time. So, you know, let's see how this goes. And you know, I'm going to back you 1,000%. I am totally convinced you're the man that has done one terrific job, and I don't mind putting my name with yours at all. So, and if people don't like it, I'll send them to Tony.
And then we'll
Antonio
send them
Calvini.
we're going to send them to Frank at Federalist Pens, who's got 75% off until. No, I'm just kidding, Frank. I'm just kidding, Frank.
With the code Larry75.
Yeah, Larry 75.
Nice.
And,
Well,
and
30% off the pens is amazing.
Yeah, that is a good
And
deal.
while we're on it, now I haven't gotten the dates in my head yet, but I'll have another Zoom on this. And Frankie doesn't know it, but he will know it now. So I want to support Frank's channel as much as I can as well. Frank's a friend of mine. Okay. And he's come out with some new inks that I thought were monsters. Beautiful inks that I fixed to do a review on. I'm going to be buying so many bottles and giving those away free to people. So that's going to be another giveaway, and that's going to happen all in December. So that's what I wanted to tell you earlier. So there you go, Frank.
Good.
Don't be
This is all about Mike though, so I'm just in. Don't mind me. It's good. Appreciate it
so
though.
Frank goes, oh God, there he goes again, Mike. So anyway, trying to help the man, and he's all bummed out. Anyway, I need to talk to his wife.
I'm here to support the hobby and support everybody, as you guys well know.
Yep.
So, but anyway, anybody have any questions for Mr. Green before we split?
I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to you, Frank, to everyone here. And Mike, thank you for letting us into your little space, and thank you for sharing your talent with all of us. We appreciate it.
Thank you
All
for
right,
letting me
then.
join you.
We're done. And people, when you see this video, thank 30% off. Go to his site and see what you like. And we'll be talking to you soon. And of course, again, Frank didn't know it, but he's going to be on Zoom, like it or not. All right. All right, my friends, take care. Love you guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.
Happy
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.